Oh, finally. There
And
you
we're
go.
live.
Yeah, I think we're alive.
Okay.
Hang on. Yep, it's live on my side. Awesome. Wow.
Live on YouTube.
StreamYard has been so,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's full on right now. There's so much going on my screen compared to what the setup used to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. All right. All right. Well, hello everyone. Thank you all for tuning in to this live stream with Coach DC and Health Coach Joff. Thanks for coming on, brother, for this live stream.
Oh, anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's just see who's on. Hey, Juliet. Thanks for tuning in. Feral Grandma, thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So, um, what's going on, DC? What's new?
Um, well, today's new. It's still early. It's only 9 o'clock.
Bloody hell.
It's a great
Yeah.
day.
Nice and
Actually,
warm.
tomorrow
I
I'll
know.
be traveling to Brisbane, and then Wednesday I'll be traveling to Japan. So that's going to be really cool. So I'm going to be doing, while I'm in Japan though, I'll be visiting family and friends. I'll be there for about 3 weeks. Um, yeah, so bit of an announcement, everyone. I'm going to be away for 3 weeks. But I'm going to try and do some stuff while I'm over there, some uploads, but we'll see what happens. But
Yep.
what I will be doing is teaching some gym owners about breath work and ice bath and benefits, like the science behind it and so on. And doing a bit of research as well, because I like there's some really cool techniques that the Japanese samurai used to use, and I've sort of been doing a bit of research on that recently as well, because I'm putting a few things together at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, it's going to be a great trip. But I always love going back to Japan. It's my second home.
Yeah. 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 Well, it was home for a long time, wasn't it? I mean, over a decade,
Oh
really.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That's right. Almost 11 years. So, how about you, Coach Joff? What have you been doing? Been working hard?
So, brother, working hard. I too have got an announcement. I am going to Japan as well. So I'll be flying to Japan next week. Um, yeah. So no, things have been busy in the health coaching space for me. It's been busy with home life, with the kids,
Yeah.
and just looking forward to having this time to. This is my first time I'm leaving the country. Um, it feels like it's over 10 years. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
been a while.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so it's gonna be. Um, I wouldn't say a challenge because this time we've got two little kids, but it's gonna be
Yeah.
different trying to navigate, the kind of way of life that I'm living right now, which is that kind of a lifestyle, and so going to a different country and eating, trying to stick to carnivore is going to be
Well, that's not so
the thing
difficult.
for me.
Yeah. I don't think
No, no.
that's. Yeah, I really don't think that's difficult in Japan. I mean, there's meat everywhere. I mean, you can get it from a vending machine. Like they literally, like, you can get a steak from a vending machine.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but I mean, I mean, they love it. And yakiniku and shabu shabu and things like that. So like that, the difficult thing about navigating any kind of diet that you're on in Japan is the fact that the abundance of food and the variety. It's really difficult to abstain, you know,
yeah,
because they have so much great food. They have
yeah,
fantastic food.
yeah.
I mean, like, you can go to, like talking about like yakiniku and shabu shabu, like you can get what they call tabe holdo, which is all you can eat for a set sort of time. And like some places you can get all you can eat meat for actually Sendai, where I'm going. There's a place there where you can get 5 hours for $20, all you can eat meat, right? Which is fantastic. But all of these places, there's where they have like really good healthy food. There's also these buffets where you can get cake buffets and desserts. And, like they call it there's a place they call Sweets Paradise, for example. And you have all you can eat cake and ice cream and whatever else you can think of, right? And they have all different types of cakes that are just, I mean, they really make nice cakes in Japan, actually. So that part of it is really difficult, So.
Yeah, I remember, bro. I know we've got a lot of people. Let's acknowledge some people. We've got hey,
it's good to see you guys.
We've got dessert. Josephine's in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Slurpee. Hello, hello. Yeah, no, it's a big turnout actually. This is good. It's good. We got a question straight up, man. Let's answer this. From Juliet. I'm missing the sunlight as we go into winter months. With a sad light, red light, or even tanning booth help. I tend to get seasonal affective depression once December hits. Brother, what's do you know what sad light is?
No, I'm not really sure what a sad light is. Red light helps though. Like that's what winter is all about. It's about, I mean, this is the thing. Like we always get that. It's not so much a depression sort of state, but we get into a sort of an elevated autonomic nervous state where it sort of slows everything down for us. That's why the autonomic nervous system is going to control your emotions as well as your digestion and everything else like that, because it's meant to do that so that we fast and we sort of stay indoors and sort of hibernate through the winter. We have humans have their own version of hibernating, the same as bears do, right? Just not quite as effective. So the only thing, I mean, if you want to, I don't think you need to try and avoid that so much, but that sort of emotional side of things, I think is really good to train your autonomic nervous system to. The power of positive thinking really helps here too. Listen to positive, people, positive music, that sort of stuff. That actually does help. But I know the sun's not as strong in the winter, but try and get as much natural light as possible, because natural light does make all the difference. Red light is very useful, but it can be quite expensive. But if money's not the problem, then use it. But I've always been an advocate for the more natural, the closer to nature, the better. So try and get as much natural light as possible, and you're going to find that it does make a big difference. But yeah, definitely when it gets darker, definitely use red light. I use red light bulbs at home. Sometimes I'll just use candlelight actually. The fire is really good. You get natural red light from fire as well. So I think that really helps us as well. We naturally react to that. And just, I think another point, like getting into the winter months, is to try and hold on to that routine that you have in summer as well. Because that makes a big difference. We tend to slow down in winter, which is all part of it. And that slowing down also affects our mood and our emotions and so on. So try and hold that same routine if you can. So like I still do, even in winter, I still like to hold on to, like the first thing I do is get into the ice bath and do the breath work. And that sets up my whole day, Yeah, it's important, I think, to get your, even in winter, the circadian biology is very effective. So that's why the breath work and ice bath work is so good in the morning. So that's what I do anyway.
Awesome.
How about you, Joff?
So Juliet's yeah, man. I'll answer in a bit. But, Juliet says satellite is a bright light you look at for 10 minutes in the morning, then dimmer in the afternoon. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So
Yeah, again,
I think
natural light, I think is going for you.
yeah. Yeah. I think look, it's going to be part of, and I just want to acknowledge this from someone who's is from Brian, who's commented on the Instagram live. It's the circadian rhythms. Yeah, it is going to be natural that there's less sunlight in the winter months, and so your body does go through that. I guess, like you said, that hibernation period. I think it's quite natural to feel that way, and I think most people feel less energetic in those winter months. I know for myself, definitely being someone of brown skin and tropical, I'm really like energy wise, I'm not at my peak in the winter. So my personal routine and what I like to do is to, like you said, DC, stick to your regular routines, but especially leading up to the months, but not just in the winter months, definitely in the summer months. Now I'm just thinking about vitamin D in particular. I think during the months and the seasons that you are getting a lot of that sunlight, you need to maximize that to build up your vitamin D storages for when the winter months come. So just like today, like I've just spent about half an hour outside, 80% of my skin showing and trying to get as much sun absorption, and I probably will do that as well right after this call. I think just getting in, and again talking about vitamin D in particular, getting in the vitamin D in your system to help build it up when winter comes and you start to need those resources for your immune system to harden up. So
D3 is also like your emotions too. Like, cold also stimulates your D3 release, into your blood system. This is the thing about so the whole thing about Europeans, for example, being that they were never D3 deficient in the winter months, and that their winters were far longer than other like Australia's summer sort of thing. The thing is, D3 is a hormone, and it's fat storable. Okay, so it's stored in your fat cells, right? Cold actually stimulates the movement of B8, like the brown adipose tissue. Okay, so being cold will actually stimulate the release, or it will also stimulate the production of D3 from your liver, okay, from the lipids, okay, because it's produced in cholesterol. So this is going to actually stimulate more release and more production of D3 as well. So this is the reason why I say stick to the routines, and ice baths or cold showers, even in winter. It's really going to help that mood. It's really going to help your D3 production and release, because it moves brown adipose tissue. It's also going to it will also help to brown white adipose tissue. Okay, and brown adipose tissue has a lot of benefits as well. Stimulating the brown adipose tissue also reduces the blood glucose levels in your blood dramatically. Okay, this is why I keep telling people it's not just about diet, right? So reducing, stimulating the brown adipose tissue, you're going to release D3 for a start. Okay, you're going to produce more D3 from your liver, and you're also going to reduce blood glucose levels dramatically. Now they've done studies on this with diabetics, with ice baths and everything. Like within 1 minute, they've reduced their blood glucose levels by up to 30% in 1 minute. Okay, so it's very effective. It also has many other benefits, but we're just talking about that at the moment. So it's really going to help you with your moods throughout winter as well. Okay, because that D3 makes you feel stronger, more helps your immune system and everything like that. But that is all part of it's also part of training your autonomic nervous system. It really is going to have a very big effect on how you get through your winter.
Yeah,
Jonathan's in the house.
The D3. Yes, Jonathan in the house. We've got a few more people turn up as well. Yeah. Yes. Back to the whole D3 rabbit hole. I think that's something that you got a video on it as well in your YouTube channel where you talk about D3. Hey, but there's I think
I quite often talk about D3, cold and
D3. Yeah.
So I mean, this is the thing. Like people have recently, like they keep saying, "Oh, but we get less sunlight in winter in Europe and all these different places." But they were never D3 deficient like 100 years ago, or 200 or 300 or 3,000 years ago. They were never D3 deficient. And there are some people who never get any sunlight, like because they have a high fat diet. Like the Inuit, they spend a lot of time outside.
That's it,
and so on. Yeah. But through winter, like they're completely rugged up.
Yeah.
So
diet wise, I think that you could obviously pick out foods that are a higher source in vitamin D, but
that's right.
It's a big rabbit hole. I think it's interesting.
Well, it is. It's very interesting. But I mean, like you can get it. You get it from your food. Okay, food sources, fat, and so on. But to release it into the bloodstream, you need that. Cold in the winter months. It's not just sunlight that stimulates it. It's also cold therapy that stimulates it. Okay, so cold therapy will stimulate testosterone production from your liver as well. But D3 is a pre-hormone for testosterone, so it's it'll comes hand in hand. It'll start producing D3 and then testosterone. That will elevate your moods. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Hello, Sandy.
I think I've come to expect symptoms and wonder. My brain gives me what I think about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
less in winter.
Thing too is when you come to expect certain things from, like you expect moods or you expect things from your brain, sort of thing. This is you can train your autonomic nervous system the same as you do your muscles. Okay, this is what hormetic stresses are all about. It's about training your nervous system to deal with more stressful sort of situations, or to deal with more emotions, and to train your body on how it's going to react to these situations as well. So this is another reason for ice baths and breath work and so on. Okay, so it's really about training your autonomic nervous system, because this is linked to all of your organs and your hormone production as well. Okay, like, for example, the signal in your body, 85% actually comes from your body to the brain, not the other way around. Okay, it's not like your brain is not a dictator. It's more like a reactive parliament. It's reacting to how your body is reacting, sort of thing, and then it sort of bounce off each other. So this is why you need.
It's reacting with the environment.
If you can, exactly. So,
sorry,
No, you're right. But that's how you've got to put yourself into these like small hormetic sort of stresses, and that will train your system, your whole system. That's good.
This is going through some of the comments here.
It says
natural light.
Yeah.
We have shorter daylight hours.
Yeah, we didn't think about the habits. I started changing once the cold weather hit. Yeah, yeah. See, I guarantee. Like I know it's cold. It's more difficult in winter to take a cold shower, but I guarantee you, you will feel much better after a cold shower. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I did I did 30 days. Well, actually, I didn't make it to 30 days because of some issues, but I did leading up to winter. Did about I think 15 days of cold showers, and you do get adapted to it after a couple of days. It's just one of those things where
Oh yeah.
you get it's a shock to the system at first, but you slowly build resistance and
Well, that's what I mean. That's what
confidence
it's all
in it.
about, isn't it? You training your nervous system to cope with that, that immediate
Yeah.
stress. It's like, it's not just about, the reason why it's so important for like testosterone, for example, even especially for women because they're naturally lower in testosterone than men, but testosterone is one of the hormones that stimulates EPO production from your kidneys as well, which is going to produce more blood cells, including stem cells, from your bone marrow. Okay, so producing more blood cells and so on. So this is why it's so important as well. It's not just about training your autonomic nervous system. There are real physiological benefits to doing this.
Absolutely.
And we are built to go through these cold periods, and it's just a matter of getting used to it. That's all. So the more you do it, the more acclimatized you become to it. So like I have 0-degree baths now every morning, and it feels fantastic. So
definitely can't go that far. 0 degrees? Oh shit! That's cool. Nah, it's good.
yeah,
All right, I'm setting up my bathtub now. I'll get some ice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear, Jonathan. It is good to see you here. Hope things smooth out for you.
Yeah, I hope things. And Josephine, Andy Grandma. Yeah, so it's a matter of, I think when it comes to moods, like in the colder months, really try and stick to those routines. And even if you haven't done like cold showers before or ice baths, take it on. Okay, I guarantee you will find an elevation in your emotional levels as well, not just your training. It's great for training your autonomic nervous system and hormone production. And this is what really puts you in a much better mood too, like testosterone, D3, blood cells, and so on. It's really going to help with the way you think and feel. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a really good start because the reason why I wanted to do this live stream is there's a lot of people that promote carnivore in social media, which is great. I think sometimes it can give the message to people that everything is all carnivore related and that your whole life is fixed when you go carnivore. Like me and you have had this discussion many of times. And so I really wanted to, bring it out there to people that, number one, carnivore, I'm not saying that carnivore is not helpful. It absolutely is. And people will benefit drastically from a carnivore diet. But it's not the fixer-upper of all your problems. I can attest to that.
No, that's right.
But...
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people I do get a little annoyed about the fact that everyone is like, it cures depression, it cures anxiety, it cures ADHD, it cures all this sort of. No, it doesn't. It helps. It helps with that stuff. Yeah. You do. When you are healthy, you feel better anyway. Emotionally, you're going to be more stable, and you have more energy. have much more even sort of heel. But it is one cog in a clock, and a clock has many cogs to make it work. There's like could be 50, 100 cogs to make a clock work. When you're talking about diet alone, that is just one cog, right? So you need to put it in place to make it work, to make everything else work. You sort of need to have these other cogs, these other modalities to get the best out of it. Otherwise, you're just going to have this cog spinning, and eventually people start having trouble, and they'll say, oh, the diet worked, great for the first 6 months or the first 6 years even. But then I started getting this problem and this problem and this problem. It's like there's more to it than just food. A lot more to it.
Yeah.
If you do not, if you don't train your autonomic nervous system, if you don't control your nervous system, it will control you, and it has a dramatic effect on how you think, feel, and your long-term health. Okay? Heart rate variability, for example, heart rate, blood pressure, leaky gut, kidneys, all of these are related to how your nervous system is reacting. Okay. If you are in an anxious state, then just being on carnivore is not going to bring your heart rate down. You need to be able to get yourself from an anxious state or a warrior state, like the fight or flight, into what I call the philosopher state, which is the rest and digest. And I've spoken about this many times too. People are probably going to get sick of hearing me say this, but I mean, for example, the difference between being in the sympathetic nervous state to the parasympathetic nervous state is when you're in that rest and digest state, or when you're in that warrior state, you're only absorbing, half or less of the nutrients from your food, because your vagus nerve, activating your vagus nerve is what stimulates your body to rest and digest and recover. So you absorb a lot more from your food. Otherwise, you get leaky gut, and it's basically your stomach and your digestive system will be paralyzed because you're in that in that sympathetic nervous state, and your food just passes straight through you, and you get sometimes even less than half the nutrients. And depending on what you're eating, if you're not on a healthy diet anyway, you're not getting anything from it anyway. So these are things that you need to think about as well. Think about the body as a clock, not just one cog.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I'll go off that note on the vagus nerve. Being in that state of that rest and digest, it does help as well, and in symptomatic management of little things that happen in life. Sometimes it's not just the big health problems and the big issues that you come across, but it's little moments of anxiety, little moments of stress that you might have. And so people think of making these lifestyle changes as I've got to do this big thing, go carnivore, I've got to do fasting, I've got to do cold plunges every day. But the little things that you can do in those little moments can have huge effects. And I'm just speaking from personal experience here. So I do have a lot to thank you for, DC, because without your video on some of your breathwork exercises, those little moments that those little moments of stress, little moments of anxiety, could have led to worse things, and it's an accumulation of buildup that does affect you in the long term. But it's the little changes that I could practice that would help you go to bed at night, or eases me to go to sleep at night, or helps, I don't know, deal with the situation a little bit better at work. So it goes beyond just diet. And I'm not going to say I'm
Oh,
sick of hearing it from
absolutely.
people to say, carnivore is a fix-all, but for people who are new to wanting to make lifestyle changes, I think it's important to be upfront and just to say, look, the diet is going to play a huge part, no doubt. But if you're not going to fix the little things, the
Yeah.
cogs in your life, work on other aspects of your life, then your problems aren't just going to go away immediately. Yeah.
No, no. This is the thing. Like I tell people that I can. Yeah, you can 2 or 3 times your results just by adding two modalities, like just by adding a bit of cold
Yeah.
and a bit of breath work. You know, um,
Yeah.
and like you're talking about with your nervous system, it does accumulate because what you're doing when you are in a certain state of mind, like an elevated sort of warrior state, even you are training your nervous system to react that way every time. Okay, so
Mm.
when you get a stressful day, for example, and you don't get yourself out of that into that ventral vagal state, you stay in that nervous state and you're training your nervous system to stay that way. So like
Mm.
that leads to anxiety, hypervigilance, um, an- sorry, hang on a second.
No, yeah, man.
Hypervigilance, and eventually depression. Okay, and then you get into shutdown. This is like depression doesn't happen overnight. It happens because people don't learn to get out of that sympathetic nervous state back into a parasympathetic nervous state. But about 90% of people these days don't because they are always scrolling their screens. They're watching computers. They're watching YouTube. They're watching Facebook or whatever else, and they are always in this elevated state, which means that itself is training their nervous system to stay in that heightened awareness, that heightened sort of sympathetic state, and that leads to shutdown, where they just don't want to do anything. They get depressed, and nothing's ever going to turn out right, and all this sort of stuff. They get into bad talk about themselves and so on. So you really need to. It does accumulate. This is why it takes training your nervous system to be able to get down into that total relaxation state, into that. It gives you more focus, more clarity, and so on. And I mean, it's not. This is something that has been used, since the ancients, like tens of thousands of years. This is not a new thing. It's just that we just have not been raised, and become used to this sort of thing. It really does make a very big difference to your life, actually.
Absolutely. No, can attest to that. Let's touch into this.
Jonathan's saying,
Not
I'm not
certain
real
anymore.
certain anymore that the supplemented D3 is as big a biohack as we once thought. No, I agree. I'm benefiting tremendously from frequent sauna use and at the moment. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, Jonathan. I really don't. I mean, I don't think that replacing a hormone with any kind of supplement is going to help the body, because even maybe short term until you get off it and you train your body to start producing it. But like I said, like a few lifestyle hacks or a few lifestyle changes like cold therapy or heat therapy works too, sauna. That makes a very, very big difference to your hormone production. So yeah, that's what I wouldn't rely on supplements for that sort of stuff.
No. I agree. I've been on the D3 subs for a while, but I honestly feel like, again, this is just subjective information, but I feel better getting, my D3 or vitamin D from sunlight, You know, people like I'm seeing people online
Well,
heavy
it's
dosing
not
on
just that. I mean,
D3,
with sunlight,
like
though.
a lot.
Yeah, when we're talking about getting sunlight, I mean, it's not just D3 that is stimulated from sunlight. Like you get,
No,
I mean, D3 is fantastic.
yeah,
But the other reason why you feel so good is that sunlight actually stimulates nitric oxide production from
nitric
your skin
oxide.
as well,
Yeah, yeah.
which is a vasodilator. It's an antioxidant.
Mm.
Okay. It's one of the
Yeah.
stronger antioxidants in your body, same as CO2 is also an antioxidant. And of course, you
Mm.
have glutathione. But being out in the sun will stimulate not just your D3 production and release from your fat cells, okay, which is why
Mm.
your elevated level, your levels go up. All right, it will stimulate your fat to release it,
Yeah.
but it also releases nitric oxide, which is going to help
Mm.
the blood flow, of course, and get the D3 to where it needs to go, and all these other things that sort of react. So that's why you feel so good out in natural light.
Mm.
It's not just the
Yeah.
D3 production; it's also the nitric oxide and so on. And also
Yeah.
it stimulates fat cells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. But yeah, just to finish up that train of thought, I've seen people like megadose the crap out of D3. And I'm not saying I don't know the reasons why. I just don't know if that is going to be, the best way of doing things. Like I've seen someone take 100,000 IU's of a
Wow.
D3 supplement as a mega. I thought that is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the thing too. Like, it's not just the D3 you're getting with these supplements as well, and depending on the source and
Hmm.
the capsules and so on.
Hmm.
Yeah, that they are very high in deuterium. They're also very high
Yeah.
in xenoestrogens.
Hmm.
Xenoestrogen has an effect of lowering your testosterone production, which is downstream going to lower your blood cell production. So
Hmm.
it's really
Hmm.
not going to help in any way. Just because you're taking these D3 doesn't mean you're actually going to produce any D3 or get the D3 benefit. And in fact, I think if
Hmm.
anything, it's going to make things worse, a lot worse. Yeah.
Hmm. 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 All right,
Is
let's get
that
to this
his
question.
room's at 16 degrees, 16 degrees
Yeah.
currently, and I feel
So
cold.
he's capped out on. Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I said, you don't have to have like a cold shower or have a cold like an ice bath sort of thing. Even just like these studies that were done on brown adipose tissue, for example, removing the blood glucose. Actually, there's a good study actually on humans, a human study.
Hmm.
People in a room of 14 degrees Celsius for 24 hours at a time
Hmm.
actually reduce or inhibit the growth of cancer tumors because the
Hmm.
brown adipose tissue actually takes glucose up faster than tumor cells can.
Hmm.
So that's really
Hmm.
impressive stuff.
Hmm. It is. The other ways, like you could do cold exposure as well. If it's a colder climate, it's cold. Grounding as well in early
Yeah.
morning hours is a good way.
Yep.
That's how I did it. Well, that's how I built up
Absolutely.
to the cold showers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, where was I? Okay. Um, I start off warm water, then finish off cold. Well, yesterday I was like, can tap water get cooled down? It was the coldest I've ever felt. It almost felt like ice water. Yep. That's how
Yeah,
it felt
that's
like for
good.
me too. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
not really about the temperature of the water. It's about what feels cold to you. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
the effect is going to be. Like, so,
Yes.
I mean, to me, it's just you sort of once you get used to a certain temperature, then you sort of want to stimulate more. Okay, that's why I'm like down to
Yeah.
0 degree baths and that sort of thing. But yeah, as long as it feels cold to you, then that's cold enough.
Mm, mm.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
You don't have to be freezing.
Yeah. You don't have to go below a certain, oh, it's got to be 11 degrees. Anything above that, you're not stimulating thermogenesis. Like, it's dependent on your own. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a question here from Jonathan. How would you use breath work when using sauna to maximize benefit?
Yeah, sure.
That's for you, brother.
Okay, well, I mean, the sauna, that's already a hormetic stressor, right? So I would use a slow count breath control. For example, like try even just cardiac coherent breathing will make you feel more comfortable and relaxed. That'll bring your heart rate down. Okay. So the cardiac coherent breathing is just 5 seconds in through the nose, 5 seconds out. Try that. Box breathing is good. I just finished, actually this morning, I did an early morning video. I haven't put up yet, but it's called, it's an introduction to Hara breathing. Now, Hara is a Japanese term. It actually means belly. So it's actually belly breathing. But the Japanese samurai used to use different types of what they call Hara breathing to stimulate either the warrior before battle or the philosopher afterwards, sort of thing. But really, some of the techniques they use are very, very long, prolonged breath. So they would like inhale for 10 seconds and hold it for 20 seconds and then exhale for 40 seconds, sort of thing. Right? So they would, but you don't have to be that extreme. So inhale for say 5-6 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, and exhale for 10 seconds. It's a really deep relaxation sort of breath technique, and just breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, but not into the chest, not into the diaphragm, into the lower belly. Okay, so let your belly rise and fall like a balloon. Okay, and just relax your shoulders. Keep your shoulders and chest still. They don't move. You don't inflate the chest. Don't inflate the shoulders. Just into the belly. Just like a balloon, and then just let it relax. Hold it for 5 seconds, and then relax it for 10 seconds. Okay, and just try that for say 5 minutes. I guarantee you'll feel that in itself. You're training your vagus nerve. That's actually going to put you into that ventral vagal state. You'll feel a lot more relaxation, and that should really help with the saunas as well. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, do them together. Like when I do ice baths, I use breathing as well, because that helps to relax the body while I'm in the ice bath. That's why you can handle more colder temperatures, because you're doing breath work to sort of relax the body, relax the nervous system. And that's what it's all about. It's about training your nervous system to cope with that stressor, so that when you get into any kind of other stressful situation, your autonomic nervous system automatically will say, okay, this is a stressful situation. This is how I breathe to stay calm and relaxed and to focus properly. So that's what the whole thing is about, really. Well, it's one of the reasons anyway. So, okay. Yeah, definitely use that.
Rick will be busy he's at a conference right now.
Yeah, I think he's at
what's it called?
Rick finally got gifted
health.
What is it called? Hack Your Health thing.
Hack Your Health. That's it. Yes, that's right. That's going on.
I've never been to these things or these conventions or like this Hack Your Health sort of thing. But it seems to me like they're only talking about diet. I was like, is that really hacking your health? Like just eating healthy food? I mean, yeah. Again, like even with breath work even with breath work, I don't really like the term like hack your health, sort of like biohacking sort of thing. It's really just to me it's just taking on ancestral habits. It's not really hacking anything, is it?
No.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad it helped. I haven't put up many breathwork videos recently, but I did, like I said before, I did just finish one this morning. Actually, it's a Japanese theme, an introduction to Hara breathing. It will be 6 seconds in, 5-second hold, and 10-second release with some really nice Japanese music. Okay. So I will try and get that. I'm trying to get that up. I've got to edit a little bit, but I've got to try and get that up before tomorrow when I leave for Japan. So,
yeah. Oh. Chop, get to it after this.
Thank you, Jonathan. I really appreciate you gifting membership. Thank you very much, my man.
I know, he's gifting the memberships. Breathwork, red lights in bedrooms and getting off electronics has helped me. Yes, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
So definitely. my nighttime routine is I've got red light. We've had red light since the kids were born, and that's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like that has really helped with the kids' circadian rhythm since they were young. We turn off all all lights and just have that one on at nighttime. They sleep grounded. They've got a grounding mat, and it's helped them drastically with their sleep. And electronics, I turn off my phone at night, and I tell you what, like as a shift worker who's been on benzodiazepines to try and cope with the ever-changing circadian ever-changing schedules, doing these basic things have helped immensely. And someone told me the other day, isn't it easier just to go on the tablets, like just take the tablets and go to bed and just zonk out? Look, each to their own, but for me personally, this is far more easier than taking sleeping tablets, because one, there's going to be a bunch of side effects. Like there's always going to be side effects to it. But two, they work differently for different people. When people say, "Oh, it's got a half-life of this," or it's got, you've only got.
Well, you're also taking pills. Yeah. You're also training your nervous system. Right? You know how people always build up a tolerance. So you might start on one pill, but then you sleep, you start getting disrupted sleep again. So you take 2 pills, and then you get 3 pills, and then you get 4 pills, sort of thing.
Exactly.
It's not going to work, apart from the other side effects like xenoestrogen and everything like that. This is the stuff that we are talking about now. This is not a big time commitment, So even with you can do. So that this morning, for example, just an example, sometimes I do very long sessions of breath work. There are breath work sessions you can do that can last up to 5 hours, what they call holotropic breath work. Okay. And it's incredibly intense. But as a routine, with an ice bath, and I did 5 rounds of Hara breathing this morning, but an activation breath work where I also did 5 3-minute breath holds. Okay. So, the whole thing took 30 minutes, really. That's not really that big a time commitment. At the same time, I'm outside, I'm grounded, I'm setting up my circadian biology, I'm doing my breath work, I'm doing, all these different things. And 3-minute breath holds, I'm stimulating EPO, I'm stimulating my blood cell production, it's going to help my platelet production. Everything that's going on is going to help my hormone production. This is all happening all inside that 30 minutes with the, so really, where's the, if you, so you don't have time anymore, get up 30 minutes earlier, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
at night I will do a down-regulating breath work. Again,
Mm.
maybe 10 minutes at most before I sleep. And it makes a
Mm.
huge difference. I mean, I do all these other things. I do like to use red light at night, or even candlelight sometimes. I have a grounding mat. I use blue light blocking glasses, but I always do 10
Mm.
minutes of down-regulating breath work to help me sleep,
Mm.
because that will help me to avoid things like cortisol spike, which will wake me up in the middle of the night, and so on and so on, because you need
Mm.
to get into that rest and digest. I think it's also important if, depending on what your training goals are, the first thing after training to get into that rest and digest mode so that you can recover more, absorb more nutrients from your food, your post-workout meal, and to get to actually stimulate more growth. So
Mm.
there are a number of reasons why you would do this. But taking pills
Mm.
is like working completely opposite. Like it's not a huge time commitment.
Mm.
You know?
I mean, if you're only
Everyone wants a silver bullet.
yeah, well, that's exactly what I was gonna say. If your only thing that you're looking at is the ease of just popping a pill down your mouth and letting it work, um, and just that saving that amount of time, like you said, half an hour of your day or whatnot. Look, it's fine. You do you, but at the end of the day, um, it's just to me that there are far more other better things to do that are more aligned with your physiology. That I think it's easier. I think it's easier as just to turn off the lights at night, to turn off your phones. That's an easy fix. You're
Yeah,
not paying, pharmaceutical companies hundreds every month just to put you to bed.
yeah.
Like
I
that's the
mean
way I look at it.
that too. How much money are you saving? You know.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, if you did say 20 minutes of ice and breath work in the morning, do 5-10 minutes at lunchtime, 5-10 minutes at night. That
Yeah.
what, less than an hour a day, 50 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
you can really change your whole life, and think about how much money you're saving. You know.
Mm, mm, mm. All right. Sorry, I'll get through these. I like how DC gets your brain to think more about the small things that seem to be more of a big thing to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really glad that it helped Josephine. Mm. It's. I mean, I say this to people all the time. It's small steps. Okay. You don't need to take big giant leaps, but small steps every
Yes.
day will get you a lot further ahead than one big sort of leap. Every 6 years
Mm.
or so. Okay. It's like climbing a ladder. If the reason why ladders, pegs are only like a foot between. If there were 3 foot between, you wouldn't be able to get up the first one. Right? So just take one step
Mm.
at a time. Just add these small things, and you may not feel. I mean, you can feel some effects from breath work from your very first session, but the thing about consistency is that, I mean, you may not. I mean, everyone wants this, like I was saying before, everyone wants this big silver bullet, and they just want this perfect body, perfect health, overnight. They just want to wake up and look fantastic and be strong and so on. But these are small increments that are going to take time, okay, and it will take as much time as your body needs. All right.
Yeah.
The only thing you need to do is just keep doing it and trust in the process. You
Mm.
may not feel like getting great results for a while, okay, but when you look back, say 6 months from now or a year, and you think about where you started, I mean, I think, look at me now. Like 11 years ago, I was
Yeah.
dead. I mean, literally, I was dead. Okay.
Mm.
Um, so that's what it's all about. It's about consistency over time. keeping that
Yeah.
practice a consistent step. And consistency doesn't mean that it's level peg all the way, like you have to do the same thing all day, every day, sort of thing. Consistency looks like this, okay? It's always
Yes.
up and down. So that you might do more today and less tomorrow, or so on and so on. It's about it looks like this. You're up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what consistency is. As long as you do a little bit each day, you're going to be set.
No, I like that. And I'm going to relate this as well with health coaching. In my experience, with people that want to go on either carnivore, or they have a health goal and they want to achieve it. See, this is where I think people have been conditioned by. I'm not going to pinpoint a certain industry, but they've been misled to think a certain way. When they come to me, it's often about weight loss. It's, I want to lose weight. I want to lose this amount of weight. What do I need to do? All right, I need to do, I've got to calorie count. I've got to go carnivore. I've got to do this. I've got to do all these big things. I've got to track my weight every week. Every day. But the thing is, well, how is that important to you? I will always ask this in my intake or my screening. How is that important to you? Great. You want to lose weight. Why is that so important to you? And, we go through the process of, obviously why and whatnot. But quite often people will look at the big, massive gains and achievements, the scale wins, or the big things that they're trying to do, like, oh, I've got to do a big fast, I've got to train this amount of time in the gym, as the indicator for success.
Yeah.
And quite often a lot of clients find it weird when I ask them, or at first, we talk about, how was life, hey, what are some things that you notice differently when you're at work, or when you're speaking to, a colleague that you've had issues with, or, how's your relationship with your family like, or with the kids? And they start talking about, oh, well, I spoke differently to someone at work. I was talking at a much more calmer state of mind. I got to spend 15 more minutes with my kid today because, I was able to, wake up a little bit earlier, like those little things. And people start to realize, when they go through my coaching, is that it's not always just about these big metrics or these big interventions. It's the little things in life. And so, people really underestimate these little things. Like I'm going on a little bit here, but like when people, ask me, oh, where do I start with how do I start the carnivore diet? I just go eat all meat. I go, wait, just hang on a second. Let's start with, what are you doing for your groceries today? What does your pantry look like today? What does your fridge look like? Start with those things, those little steps. I guess it's not the fancy biohacks. It's not the cool intermittent fasting. It's not the cool Ozempics, but it's such simple things that can lead to greater gain in the future, and things that actually matter, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing too. Like you're talking about, spending time with your kids and socializing. This is about being in the ventral vagal state. Okay, because when you're in that sympathetic state, you don't feel like socializing. You get anxiety, you get depression, or even if you're in that hyper vigilant or warrior sort of state, you're not thinking about socializing. You're not relaxing and things like that. So these are things that actually activate the vagal state as well. Being with the kids, being with pets. Pets are fantastic for that too. That helps get you into that state as well. And that's why, like having family, having pets and things like that will actually help people live longer, because you're activating the vagus nerve,
Yeah.
It's yeah, and like you said, like just small steps, small things make the big difference.
Hmm.
My
All
last
right, let's get through some of
vitamin D
these. Yeah.
test showed 97%. Oh, that's very good. Was in early September. I wasn't taking supplements. Yeah, very good.
Good,
Yeah,
good,
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
That'll be thanks
Hello,
to
Mandy.
Jonathan,
Good to
I
see you.
believe. Yeah. How's it going, Mandy?
Yeah, thanks for joining
Start
that.
start warm, finish warm.
Start warm,
Oh,
finish.
this is in regards to the
That's
showers.
interesting.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yep. Hmm. How's it going, Mandy? Also kept out
Also
the
kept out.
sauna. I read 3-4 times,
3 to
20
4 times.
minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Per week, 80 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Per week is maximal effect. Cool. Very cool.
Mm.
Yeah. So like, that's another one of the things that I talk about in the eight science-backed habits that saved my life.
Mm.
Heat treatment is also very good. You know, heat and cold, and you need that contrast.
Mm.
So even just even if you have a bathtub, like 20 minutes
Mm.
in water as hot as you can stand it. Again, with salts and like magnesium salts and things like that will really
Yeah.
help as well. And then straight into a cold shower, that contrast feels fantastic. I like doing that too.
I respond very well to. I respond well to the heat treatment.
Yeah,
I do baths, like very very warm baths, um, at least once or twice a week, and it does help get you into that, the that vasovagal, what not vasovagal, the what am I
visual
talking
vagal
about?
state.
The rest and digest, yeah, ventral vagal state, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I love sauna.
yeah, because it's very relaxing. Yeah, so it
Mm,
stimulates that
mm,
release.
mm, mm. Am I still
You still
taking
taking
clients?
clients?
Right now, I am taking a break because I'm going to Japan. Unless you want to, follow me for my food vlogs. That's probably the only the only things I'll be doing. But no, at this leading up to my holidays to Japan, I won't be taking any active clients until I get back. But I do have wait lists, so jump on board if you are interested in beating your sugar addiction or wanting to start a carnivore diet.
I will be
I
taking
wish I
on
had.
clients hopefully when I get back from Japan or early next year as
Yeah.
well. So
So what sort of services do you offer, DC? Let's talk about that.
well, I mean, I at the moment I'm sort of big in the breath work sort of thing. So breath work therapy, I sort of I'm quite big on right now. But honestly, I can help people with anything that they want to do. Really health wise, control their diet, for example, strength training, breath
Yeah.
work, and so on. So, um, a full, a full health sort of rebuild, basically.
Mm.
So
Mm. Mm.
that's what I sort
Awesome.
of focus on, rebuilding people's health. That's what I really want to focus on is rebuilding people's health and trying to make people aware of the fact that, like this whole thing is, today we're talking about is it's more than just your diet. And, again, it's not a very big time commitment, but there are simple steps
Mm.
that we can take very easily.
Mm.
And there are different reasons why you do different types of breath work, for example, and, cold therapy and that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Mm. Mm. Um, Farrah grandma wishes she had had sauna availability. Is there any use of getting one of those zip up portable units? I've thought about it
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. I mean, yeah, some of them are quite cheap, actually, very reasonable price wise. Um,
Mm.
You can, I mean, even now, they're getting cheaper. Even red
They
light saunas
are,
now
yeah.
too. I would love to have a red light sauna. Actually, that would be really cool. Mm.
I had a look recently. There was one that was on sale here in Australia. It was about $200 for a for one of the tents. I don't know. To me, that's cheap.
Yeah.
Because you go to the the sauna places. They charge about $50 per session, and well, think about it. $200 equals 4 sessions, and now you've got unlimited use in your own home. Like, I think that's a bargain. I don't know. That's
absolutely. Yeah.
That's me.
I mean, a lot of gyms have them now too, so you can get use out of them.
That's true.
You can do it that way if you have a gym membership. But yeah, like again, like they are getting cheaper, and to have one at home is very convenient. If you can.
Another one too would be just to have a warm bath. I mean, like, you could just have a bath at home and do your heat therapy that way.
Have it as hot as you can stand it. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just pretty much the same thing, really. So it feels really good too.
Yeah. I reckon. So I just wouldn't personally because
I wouldn't be comfortable unless I could lay in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's the one drawback. I mean, if you get one at home, you're not going to be able to lie down in it.
No.
When they zip up one sort of. Unless you have the money to put it on sort of, or you could make one. It's really not that difficult to make one. People in Sweden and other parts of Europe, they make them all the time. So, build yourself a hot box.
Hack your health, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yes, the blanket style. Yes, you can get them. The infrared ones. You can get the infrared blankets. I don't know how much they cost, but that'll be a good option if you need to lie down.
Yeah. No, thank you, Josephine.
Safe travels.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Gerald Grandma. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going back to Japan. I love going to Japan. Yeah, spend as much time
of course.
as I can.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Well, that's the thing too. Once I start taking clients again and start training, hopefully I'll be able to, return to living in Japan at some stage. That would be really good. So.
Yeah. It's funny. I was actually looking at how much the property market is in Japan, and I was looking at some of the properties. Like, it's much cheaper than Australia, actually.
It's incredibly cheap. Japan. I mean, everyone. I know what it's like in Australia, but I don't know what the rest of the world thinks. They think Japan's really expensive. Japan is the cheapest place I've ever lived, and it's incredibly cheap. Like, you can. I mean, literally, you can find a house and land for under $10,000. If you don't mind a bit of renovation, that sort of thing. Even actually, I found one near where I used to live. Completely renovated, beautiful place, just a little bit outside the city, for $100,000 Australian. Like, incredibly cheap and nothing to do. Like, it's all completely renovated. So it's an incredibly cheap country. And if you go to certain parts where towns will actually give you a house and land if you raise a family there, because they're trying to keep their towns alive, sort of thing. It's just a wonderful, wonderful place. And everything there is so cheap, like, food and, most of everything else. The income tax is really low, but they do have other taxes that you pay, so like they sort of accumulate afterwards. But even people working in 7-Eleven, for example, they can live and work. They can work in 7-Eleven, still make a living, still make enough money to buy a house and car and raise a
Yeah.
family. Japan is an incredible place. It really is. So much fun.
Love it.
And they do have their problems, the dietary wise, I mean, the last 100 years, they're very heavy soy sort of base, and you sort of see that in the population where the boys, especially the younger boys now, are very much soy boys and so on. But every country's having that problem at the moment.
Yeah, it's not just Japan. Yeah.
No.
Red LED trim around my room, red light panel which I lay on or hang above my head, and small red LED panel. So the room's red, yeah?
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Red light disco.
But I get up throughout the night. You red light disco, yeah.
Yeah. I get out through the. But I get out through the night a lot, so I don't want to trip and hurt myself. Oh yeah. That's fair
absolutely.
enough. Yeah, it's difficult to manage. I mean, when you're in pain all the time, so like Jonathan is, it's really difficult to get a full night's sleep.
Yeah,
it makes recovery very difficult. And being stuck in bed for most of his day, it's a mind fuck, really. It really is. If I take an OTC sleeping pill, I wake up with a hangover. Yeah. That's the thing. People wake up drowsy and they can't think straight. Because that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to put you to sleep, isn't it? I think there's no way that's going to be worth the next day effects as well. So just do it naturally. It's not that big a deal.
Exactly. I'll tell you a story actually. So in my first year working as a nurse, I picked up a lot of night shifts. I was one of those that just I wanted a job, so I just put my hand up for everything. I picked up. I pretty much did regular nights for a whole year, and I was on benzodiazepines, which is a very strong sedative.
Yeah.
And I like I was saying before, people say that it works this way. You've got a 4-hour window of how it works, but it's different for everyone. It's not the same. I remember one time I took a whole tablet of temazepam after a night shift just to help me sleep and to help me get back on track. I took the tablet and I couldn't go to sleep. It wasn't working. So it was around, it was in late afternoon. My dad asked, we'll go to the grocery shop. Let's do some groceries. So I went with him, and because I hadn't felt, I thought that I'd just become so used to, and I was just so desensitized from the drug. But as soon as I got to the shopping, I was doing the groceries, and I just collapsed. I just fainted.
Yeah.
Just because the drug just clicked in just then and there. So, and all I can remember was, my dad, picked me up and said, "Oh, you're tired? Let's go home." I do not remember the car ride home. I just remember waking up the next morning. So it's like, people say, yeah, it's easier just to take a drug and just to go to sleep. But again, it works differently for different people, and it doesn't always work the same all the time.
Too. I mean, there are situations too. Like, I mean, they had me on that same drug when I was, going through chemo and stuff like that, and it did help. It helped me to sleep, and it helped me to sort of deal with the pain and stuff as well. But you don't want to be taking that. I mean, I would wake. I mean, sometimes I found it very difficult to sleep because of the pain I was in. So I'd take these pills, but then I found it really difficult to wake up the next day. It's like it just felt drowsy and sluggish the whole day. I just couldn't, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed anyway. But it was just, you feel like absolute garbage, So I don't. I
No.
I always limit. I always, even the painkillers and everything they gave me, I only took it if I absolutely had to take it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I tried to avoid it as much as I could.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's the easy way out. I think it is a solution. It's a band-aid solution at best. But as in terms of an easy way out to sustain a better lifestyle, nah, definitely not. What was I up to?
No, it's definitely not for a lifestyle. No.
No. Tried that last night. Turned off the laptop. No more light. As soon as I got back from the bathroom, I turned on my phone to play games. I'm the same too. Like I play video games.
Yeah.
Look, if I know I'm going to be playing video games, I'm not going to bother about the hacks because sometimes I just want to, play some video games at night. And hey, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's a healthy thing to do, but
Well, like I said, like consistency is never a straight line. It's always up and down, up and down. And everyone has those days where you feel like, oh, to hell with it. Let's watch a movie or let's play a game or something like that. And that's all right. I mean, it's not gonna, once in a while is okay. But the problem is when you're doing it every day. This is training your nervous system to react that way. You're training. When you train your nervous system to wake up at night, for example, you are also training your cortisol production, okay? Because your nervous system activates your cortisol production. And that's why, people will start putting on weight or stop losing weight, for example, if they are still in that sort of sympathetic nervous state. They're just going to keep producing these wake-up hormones. And and that's going to stall everything. It's going to stall their weight loss or their fat loss, I should say. And it's also going to stop their muscle growth and all this other things is going to cascade sort of thing. So when you do these things, you are training your nervous system. So it's really about, like I said, once in a while it's fine, but when you do it all the time, it's a consistent training for your nervous system. Okay. That's what it's all about. So, this is the problem that people have these days. That is one of the biggest problems. They keep training their nervous system. They don't realize they're doing it. But everything that they are doing, watching TV at night, playing games, video games, and all these other things, or whatever else they do, that is training their nervous system, which is going to control their hormone production and blood pressure and heart rate and everything else. So.
It's all linked.
It's all linked. Oh, you're very
Juliet.
welcome, Juliet.
Have fun.
Almost Aaron. That's good.
Where am I going?
Have a great day.
Where am I? Oh, there you go.
Where are we up to?
Watching TV. Bed knocks me out.
I can't do that. I'll watch all night. We do it all the time. I would come out and talking. Yeah.
I'm assuming
10 everything. Yeah, okay. Conversation, I think. Yeah.
Funny.
I mean, people get into that state where it's all right. I sleep quite physically, and it evens out. Well, that's good. Even an average 7 hours per day is good sleep.
That's good.
Around 30 minutes. Cool. Yeah, that's very good. But that's quite typical for my condition.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan's really good at micromanaging. Like he's really good at micromanaging his day. Like I'm completely opposite because I ADHD. I control or I manage my ADHD with breath work and these hormetic stresses and things like that. I've been training my nervous system to do that, and it is getting better and better as I get older. But I'm always very impressed by people like Jonathan. I know he has these other issues, but he's very good at micromanaging his day. My wife is also very good. She has OCD and she's very good at micromanaging things. I actually quite impressed with that sort of.
I know all about it.
That's cool.
So the pool I use is 25 degrees Celsius, and I can do about 15-20 minutes of walking in it. Sauna
Oh, that's
drops
good.
the pain score below 7. The first few
Good.
times I did it, I cried.
Rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sauna, to me, like I said, I respond very well to sauna as well. I love the sauna.
The thing is too is like when you're in that much pain all the time, you get. See, there's a really good book. It's called "The Body Holds the Trauma." All right. Or sorry, no, the body keeps the score. Okay. The body keeps the score, and the fact is, the body holds on to trauma, right? And your nervous system, because like he's been in this situation for so long, his nervous system is reacting. He's always going to have tension in those muscles around his back and so on. But when they do finally release, it can be like an incredible release. It can be very traumatic as well. So it's these things are it's when you can get to when you have access to these things that help. Every little bit helps. I think it's really cool.
Thank you, Josephine. I will enjoy it. I most definitely will. Need any assistance? My European clients largely have one huge biohack. Their immune systems aren't excellent. No bitching about colds and flus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's regarding the home saunas. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Now, my thing
traditionally,
about
like
investing in
all
one.
the cold European places, they all have these home saunas, and then they go outside and jump in the snow, or just sit out in the cold in winter. These are, like I said, these are not biohacks. They are ancestral habits. Okay. Ancestral lifestyle habits. That we've just either forgotten about, never known about, or just sort of put them aside as just something that the old people used to do, sort of thing. But there are real physiological reasons, including nervous system and hormones and everything else, that or benefits to this, to these lifestyles. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like that in Japan still. Like I remember going to Japan a couple of years ago, and it was, the bath. There was a bathhouse like in the cities. Like there's pretty much in all around the city. You could just go to a bathhouse and it's the same thing as going on a sauna, isn't it? And you're going out straight into after your bath, you're going out into the cold. So it's people are still doing it now. It's just
Oh, Japanese are big on it. But Japanese are really big on it. They love what they call onsen. Now, onsens are
the
just
onsens,
hot springs. Okay. And they I mean, especially like obviously they love the hot water in winter, but they've always looked at onsens as a place of healing because the natural springs have a lot of minerals in the water. And same with Europeans. Europeans do the same thing. But there's so many natural minerals in the water. I mean, they even drink onsen water because of its healing properties. They even used to use it for wounds. Battle scars and things like that. If they injured themselves, they would soak it in the onsen sort of thing. And then they'd go out into the cold afterwards. Japanese are very big on that. So.
Yeah, always red.
I mean, sleeping till new 4 days later. It took 6 days before I slept. Funny. Funny story, that one.
Yep, not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Yep, they do. They F you up the next day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see the benefits in it. No. Oh, here's a good one.
No, definitely not.
DC, when you stayed with Bart, which biohacks was he most adamant at using each day for himself, if any? I know the one. I know this one already.
Um, well, being outside and working, I think that was the big priority while I was there, because we were cleaning up after the floods, the damage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was cold. I mean, it was -5 most mornings that I was there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I pretty much kept most of my routine while I was there. I'd get up well before Bart, and I'd go outside. It's still, sometimes still dark. And there was there was ice everywhere on the grass, and really heavy frost every morning. Actually, one morning was -7. I was outside in shorts and t-shirt and just doing my breath work. We did do a couple of breathwork sessions, a couple of easy ones with Bart and Pim. Yeah, but apart from that, actually, Bart was really just focused on the work, and of course the meat-heavy diet. We ate lots of great meat. Actually, it was really, really good. They did a great smoking barbecue. Actually, it's the best, absolutely the best. Really good meat. Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, you spent all day outside working as well. And that's a good thing. That's a good late biohack, I guess. Yeah, but that's about it, really. Of course, actually, he did follow. Oh yeah, well, he did follow the rule. He took the rule daily. He also took he was also, while he was there, he was testing horsewormer for himself, so he could refer to other people. But he also
What was that?
had horsewormer. Either
horsewormer. Okay.
Yeah, not really. Not really allowed to talk about on YouTube.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one.
And he did take a few. I forget what he was taking with his water. Actually, he was taking something with his water. I forget what it was, but yeah. Apart from that, it was just water, meat, sunlight, and work, and a little bit of grounding, of course, and relaxation. So, yeah, and red light after dark, red light, blocking glasses and that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, not overly strict about the stuff he was doing, but he was, for the most part, yeah. He did his 5. He did mostly his 5 health hacks.
I got a question here. Often can fall asleep but wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning and can't fall back to sleep. Cortisol, what to do ideas?
Yeah, that's a cortisol spike. I mean, I know there's like all these different gurus out there, and believe me, I've been through all this stuff before. They say, oh, the reason why you wake up at 3 a.m. is because you're, this enlightened chosen one, garbage sort of stuff. What it is a cortisol spike. Okay, it's because your nervous system is elevated into the sympathetic sort of nervous state, and this could be because you're mouth breathing, okay, while you're sleeping. When you blow off too much CO2, when you breathe through your mouth, that will elevate your nervous system into the sympathetic nervous state, and that will give you a cortisol spike, okay, and that will elevate you. It'll keep you in that elevated state, and it'll also give you either fight or flight, so like hypervigilance when you wake up, so you're really awake and alert, and you can't get back to sleep, and that'll be your whole day. Or you can, if it's bad, like if it's a regular thing, it can then progress into anxiety and depression and so on. So it's really about, one of the best things you can do is to try and keep your mouth shut while you are sleeping. I use a chin strap because I have a beard. Some people have what they call mouth tape. I don't really like using tape because they use glues, okay, and on your lips, and you're going to absorb that into your endocrine system and so on. So I don't really like doing that. So I use a strap to keep my chin or my jaw shut while I'm sleeping. And just breathing through your nose makes a very, very big difference to your sleep. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Is that you're probably mouth breathing, or you're breathing. If not, then you're probably breathing too much, too frequently, and that again takes training your nervous system. One good thing you can do also is like say 5 minutes for three times a day, like say morning, lunch, and before bed. Try and get in the habit of doing 5 minutes of cardiac coherent breathing, just 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, in and out through the nose. This trains your nervous system to eventually, to naturally breathe that way, and that will help to train your nervous system to breathe that way while you're sleeping as well. Okay, and that's what's really happening there. Is you're blowing off, probably mouth breathing, blowing off too much CO2. You get into that elevated nervous system state, and you get a cortisol spike, and you're going to wake up. That's what's happening. Okay.
On top of that, I'll add in just my own personal experience. But if you're someone who struggles with histamine intolerance, it could also be a histamine issue. I'm not saying that it is, but for me personally, I know that I have histamine issues, and the wake ups early in the morning aren't just associated with just waking up and being alert, but I get histamine issues. So your typical, itching, hives.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not having
breathing
histamine issues, then yeah. And there are probably some other issues that might be going on as well, but on average, that's the average cause of that. So
Yeah. But
and
if
the
it is
way to
histamine
deal with
issues,
it, though,
yeah. I was just gonna add, if it is histamine issues, it could be to do with the meal that you have at nighttime, as well. And if you have issues clearing it out of your body, then if you eat a low histamine food at nighttime, it helps with the I guess those big dumps that you get at nighttime. Yeah.
The best way to deal with that is to try, if it's not a histamine issue, if it's hang on a second, I'd like to swap my camera.
Oh, sorry, man, I'm gonna bring it up.
Okay, there we go. All right, so if it's not the histamine issue, if it is the breathing thing, the way to bring yourself back down into that ventral vagal state so that you can sleep better, and get back to sleep, is just a slow, regulated breath. Like I said, the cardiac coherent breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, or 4-7-8 breathing. So in for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, out for 8 seconds, or the harder breath that I mentioned before, in for 6, hold for 5, out for 10. These slow down regulating breath work sessions, 5 minutes really, even less, will from the first breath you're going to start feeling more relaxed, and that's going to relax the shoulders, relax the neck, relax all the muscles, and that will help bring you into that ventral vagal state and get you back to sleep. Okay. Listening to I also like to listen to different frequencies, like 432 hertz frequency music while I'm sleeping, will actually help bring me down. Also helps to regulate your nervous system. Okay, so there are other things that you can do to help you regulate your nervous system. Right? Music, we are very musically inclined as humans. Okay, so it has a very big effect on our nervous system.
All right. I've got a question here in the Instagram, but I'll go back to that. Um,
Yep.
it's not good. I do enjoy going outside at night, getting fresh air, and seeing stars relaxing. It's been raining, so I only stand at the back. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Mm. Uh, all right, 3D
Hey,
character
man. How you
workshop.
doing? Good to see you.
Alright. This is for you, DC.
Okay, so still need to get back to you. Oh, no, you're good, man. But I'm still
All
battling
right.
with the ADHD and needing coffee. That said, I can drink coffee until 9 p.m. and I still fall asleep easily. It's my med alternative. Yeah, I mean, coffee is a very powerful drug. It's very difficult for most people to give up. And you do go through withdrawal symptoms and so on and so on. But I actually did write an article about this recently. The acrylamide production. I mean, there are other problems with coffee and caffeine as well, because you do get a cortisol spike. Okay, you get sort of it affects your adrenaline production and so on, and you get a cortisol spike and so on. But the acrylamide is the biggest thing. The acrylamide production of plant-based foods mixed with heat, especially starchy foods mixed with heat, anything over 120 degrees, like processing and so on, produces a lot of acrylamide. And like, again, people react to coffee very differently. My wife is the same. She could drink coffee up until 10 o'clock at night, and it does not affect her sleep at all. Okay. If you are not having any trouble with it, then just do what you do. If you like it, that's up to you. I personally don't. Dealing with the ADHD, I mean, again, the stimulants from coffee is not going to help with the ADHD. It really does sort of help. It sort of throws everything going off all over the place. It's really hard to focus. I find that this is the thing about breathwork too. Breathwork is, everyone loves doing the activation breathwork, and it's really powerful and it feels great, it gives you lots of energy and so on. But when you have an autonomic nervous state like ADHD, where it's very hard to focus, and you get, part of ADHD, you're very susceptible to depression and anxiety and so on as well. It's much better to do a down-regulating breath work. You can get more benefit from a down-regulating breath work than an activation breath work. But again, I like to do both. I think it's a really good way to regulate and to train your nervous system. So yeah. Again, like you will feel much better if you can get off the coffee, though. Especially with the ADHD, managing ADHD, and using breathwork to try and regulate the nervous system. You will feel a lot more focused and a lot calmer and more relaxed. But I understand coffee is a bit of it's a hard one to give up. Just take your time. Do it slowly.
Oh.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it all. Like I was saying, you don't have to do it all in one day. So
No.
Just take your time with it.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I've personally cut down coffee multiple times in my life, but it was never a cold turkey thing. It was always a gradual reduction. There's actually a really good book on that as well. I'll go look. I can't remember the title, but it's a good book on coffee, and just some of the tips that they included as to what you can do to get yourself off that coffee train is I thought to be helpful. But slowly over a period of time, rather than go cold turkey, is what works best for me. I don't think. Yeah, if you're someone who like I was drinking up to like 6-7 coffees a day, and I tried like cutting it all off, and I cut it all off.
Yeah.
That was not a good idea because I definitely felt the withdrawal symptoms the next day and the days after.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely you've got to ease into it. Yeah.
Here, I'm just going to post this article. If you want to know more about coffee and acrylamide, I just posted this article in the chat for you all. Go check out my Substack. Okay.
Awesome.
Basically it's a neurotoxin. Okay, so that's I mean, this is something that helps me to. This is something that helps me to sort of control my diet. My diet is to. I mean, you don't need to know all these mechanisms, honestly. Like, you don't need to know how this is bad for you or what it actually does for you, sort of thing. But for me, whenever I'm tempted by something like coffee, for example, or cookies or cake or anything like that, I remember the stuff that's in it. That sort of helps me to avoid it, to abstain. But like I said, it's probably not a good idea to, especially coffee, because it is a very addictive drug. It's probably not a good idea to just go cold turkey. Just wean yourself off it slowly, and even if you do it for just a little while, just give yourself 3 months and challenge yourself to see how you feel off of it, and then see how you feel on it, and then weigh up how what your options are.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The struggling, that was the thing for me with when I cut coffee, was that feeling like I couldn't focus properly without it. But after day 5, day 7 of being completely caffeine free, I was just thinking to myself, like, this is a lie. Like, you don't really need it. Like the focus was always there.
I mean, the reason why you feel that focus is because of the cortisol production. Like the cortisol actually really helps you with memory and helps you to focus. That's why it's your wake up hormone, right? So if you do other things to stimulate the cortisol at the right time, okay. So for example, go outside, get sunlight, get your grounding, and breath work. And activation breath work is really going to stimulate the cortisol first thing in the morning, and that is going to give you much more focus than coffee, because it's going to be long lasting. Whereas coffee, people are going to, like you said before, you drank 5 or 6 cups a day,
yeah man,
because you needed
crazy amounts,
that boost. You needed that boost. Because these drugs don't last, unfortunately. So
no.
That's why I think breathwork is it's a much healthier way to do it.
Yeah. All right, man. We're nearly at the end here. And if you charge your phone near your bed, you can save a playlist that relaxes you, or use a playlist on a channel where music or the content creator voice leaves you feeling safe and drowsy. Yep, I do that. There's a person that I follow, and her voice is really relaxing. that really helps with if I struggle with sleep.
Frequencies, that's right. Frequencies in music really can make it can motivate you. Okay, you can go to the gym, you listen to these really fast music and motivate you, sort of thing, and then it can also bring you down into that relaxation state as well. So very important.
Yeah, and it also gives those channels more minutes watched. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I like this one. What YouTube person do you recommend to learn about breathing properly to down-regulate your nervous system? I don't know anyone else but DC that does it justice.
Me. Actually, I don't have many videos up at the moment for that, but I will be, especially when I get back from Japan, I will be putting up most of my videos will be talking about this as well.
Yeah.
I will have some more breathwork sessions for you very soon.
Yeah.
Including
Wim Hof. Wim Hof
Japanese
is
style
good.
hara breathing.
Mm.
Yeah, Wim Hof. Well, the problem is Wim Hof is an activation breathwork.
Ah.
Okay, so yeah, that again, like that's training your nervous system to stay high all the time. So you can't do that
That's right.
you shouldn't
Yeah.
do that every day. Right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, it's a good method, but it's just, I mean, again, it's just an activation method, not a down regulation.
Mm. So just worry about my coffee affecting my NHL. Coffee tends to work like Adderall for me as a stimulant. But yeah, I need to hook into breath work and getting it working for me.
Yeah. Yeah. See, coffee does affect, I mean, your lymphoma, because basically because of the acrylamide, okay, which affects your hormones, your thyroid, but it's a neurotoxin as well, and like acrylamide is I mean, I'm not going to say it like it's linked to cancer and all this sort of stuff, but it is a bad scenario for people fighting cancer. Okay, so if you can get off it, I do recommend anyone who has been going through treatments, has a disease like lymphoma, follicular lymphoma in particular, to get off it and stay off it. But I do understand that it is quite an addictive drug, and you feel like you need it, you feel like you want it, so it can be difficult to get off it. But again, it's all about mitigating your risks as well. As long as if you have a healthy diet as well, it's going to help take out everything else, the carbs and so on. But yeah, it really does affect lymphoma. So.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to get back to this on Instagram Live. I have type 2 diabetes and wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. The other thing with diabetes as well is that you're gonna be flushing out a lot of the fluids, especially depending on also what medications you're on as well. So that's probably why. Yeah, on top of the other stuff that we've been talking about.
Yeah, on top of everything else. I think the thing about that, again, talking about cold therapy before for diabetes, it reduces your blood glucose. If you have a cold shower before bed, perhaps this will reduce your blood glucose levels. This may help. So there are things that you can do to manage that.
Yeah. Get off the carbs is probably the biggest thing you could do.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, Josephine. Thank you. We'll see you next time. I think we're all caught up now.
Thanks, Josephine, joining us. Oh, very good. Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we're all.
I think we're all caught up now. Yeah. So, mate, if I don't see you, enjoy Japan. We're by the way, guys, we're going to the opposite sides. He's going up north. I'm going the west side of Japan. So we're not going to be. Unfortunately, we can't catch up. But if we can, that'll be great. But we're going the opposite sides. Yeah. All right. Well, if that's all the questions, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you again, DC, for jumping on. We continue
thank you everyone for joining us. Really appreciate you all joining us and testing us with your questions. It's good. It's very good. I hope you get a lot out of it, actually, because it's like we said before when we started. It's more than just diet. Diet is just one cog in the clock. Okay, and you got to think about the whole clock, not just one cog. Okay.
All right. And to cap off as well, to really highlight this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, actually, because a lot of people say that, again, bringing it back to people that say carnivore diet fixes everything. That's part of the story, but also people that say that when they do heal so much, like people that make drastic improvements. The thing with health is it's never stagnant, just like DC said. Like you could be doing so well for a long period of time, but it doesn't mean that the health journey is ended. Like we're all still trying to heal from whatever it is that we've damaged ourselves from in our past lives, and so the journey doesn't stop just because you've improved a ton from doing carnivore or doing biohacks. Like I'm still healing. DC has still got healing to do. Like we're all still trying to improve our health and do the best we can in this environment that we live in today, which I'm sure a lot of people can agree is just super toxic. It's a super toxic environment that we live in.
It goes beyond a physical healing as well. Like when you're coming back from healing, is like from traumas, emotional healing and like training your nervous system and so on. These things can take a lot longer to heal than it's like a physical, like muscle and that sort of stuff. So it's about the whole package.
Exactly. All right. Well, see you all next time, and continue to follow us. On our social medias.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you get notifications. And we'll see you all soon.
Awesome. All right. See ya.